Hi, I'm CJ Elmberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. If you are a show family and you are looking for a very versatile trailer, this setup we have sitting behind me here is a great one for you. This is a 2026 Cimarron Stierwalt edition that's set up with both pins, traveling gate, and front tack room. We'll go ahead and take a look at the drawing. I'll show you some specs on it and how the trailer lays out itself. We're 28 foot on the floor. We have a 6-foot front tack. We're 8 foot wide and we're 6'8" tall. But if you notice on there, we've got some pins, we've got that front tack, we've got side ramps, we've got a lot of cool features on this. This is a great setup. Once again, like I mentioned, for families looking for very versatile, you know, showing multiple species, this is it. So we'll start walking you through this. A Cimarron is an all aluminum constructed trailer. You're gonna get an 8-year structure warranty, 3-year hardware warranty, 1-year, no questions asked warranty under tires. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into it. We'll just start up here at the nose. We'll work our way from the top down, okay? Got 3 marker lights up there. That became standard after a few years. These button lights are incorporated on the whole top rail of this trailer. They're a very small light, put out a lot of light, not a big power draw with them being LED. You're gonna have the stainless sheet on the nose, just dresses this trailer up. You'll get a better look at it from the side profile, but we have the lower wraparound style, you know, nose. It's gonna have the lower rocker on it. We have a lot of adjustability with this coupler here made by B&W. It's rated for 25,000 pounds, but with the lower profile handle that you see here, allows for a additional hole to be drilled in that. So we have the flexibility to slide this up and down and really get a lot of flexibility to set this trailer up and run level. Okay, underneath the gooseneck, the first thing I'm gonna point out is gonna be that jack, okay? So instead of a manual crank jack, we went ahead and we put this equalizer, electric over hydraulic with a manual override. So we could, in emergency situations, pump this on or off the truck if need be. But it's so nice to have one of these big heavy duty jacks underneath the gooseneck and hit the button and up and down it goes. You have this 6-foot front tack. You're gonna fill it with a lot of stuff. You're gonna keep a lot of it on the trailer, whether you're at a show, you get home, boy, it's nice to push a button up and down it goes. And if you got some younger juniors, you know, that are traveling with you, they can actually help you, you know, hook the trailer up, guide you back, and they can reach up and hit the button. They don't have to crank it down. They can hit the button and drop it onto the ball itself. Spare tires located to the left of that. To the right, we've got a couple things. First thing is gonna be your aluminum battery box, okay? This comes with your hydraulic setup. Aluminum battery box, 12-volt battery, battery disconnect. That's a great piece. That became standard a few years ago. We were constantly putting this on ours. This is great to reach up here and turn this guy off, and it'll kill power to it. This has got a lot of lights. So we don't want to drain a battery down by leaving lights on. So I can turn this off and kill that power. But one of the things that is always a challenge is just keeping power and keeping these batteries charged up at their optimal level. So we were testing these, and Cimarron made these standard shortly after the 25 models. You get this RedArc charger. This RedArc charger does multiple things. First and foremost, it will tell us if we have power coming from the truck. Just a great indicator. Do we have 12-volt power coming in to charge this battery up? It'll also help that feedback going and potentially blowing fuses on it. It's a true 3-staging charger. Your truck would always work as a trickle charger to your batteries on these setups, but very slow going, to where this, we like to call it a supercharger. It's gonna pull optimal power from the truck to this battery based on what it needs. So we're gonna keep this battery nice and topped off, which is gonna give it a lot more life and longevity as well. And then obviously you've got a little bit more room if you wanted to add another battery in here. You just need to throw maybe some small tools, something like that there. Okay, directly below it, we went ahead and put some generator brackets here. We made this nose standard is 8'2". We made this one 9 foot. That way you've got a little bit more room to set a portable generator right here. And then it's kind of tucked back up in here, but between the battery box and the side of the trailer is gonna be a plug for our 30 amp cord. Okay, so this trailer has a power package that I'll show you. But we can mount our portable gen right here, strap it down, put the cord right to it, and then we've got power when we're at some shows. Okay, so here's that wraparound style nose I was telling you about, that lower rocker. It's just a cleaner, sleeker look compared to the VP nose itself. but that's standard on these Stierwalts. You're gonna get the white sheeting. White is standard. We just kept this one white. You know, charcoal metallic, silver metallic, black, those are really popular options. There's an upcharge there, but we went ahead and just did white on this guy. Okay, there's a good look at those marker lights. You see those, we did a number of them on the top rail, so we added a few more over standard. And as you can see, we've got a couple 16-inch awning lights going into each one of these areas at the ramp. So one going in the front tack and then one going in the stall area. But we'll start at the front tack. Like I mentioned, it's a 6-foot front tack. We need at least a 5-foot front tack in order to put a side ramp on it for the proper bracing and framing we need for the ramp itself. This one here, we went 6 foot. A lot of our other Stierwalts we have, a lot of our other show stars, we kind of start 6 foot and go from there. Just because of the upright boxes, the blower carts, the fan carts, you know, whatever you're putting in this, it's a giant game of Tetris. And yes, having an extra foot of length versus a 5 makes a big difference. But when you start stacking items side by side, it gives you a lot more flexibility and a lot more ease to actually put items in this tack room itself. But the ramp's fantastic because you can roll those upright boxes right into the tack room. Same thing, your blower carts, whatever you need to, whether you're showing off of it, just moving in and out of the front tack room, it makes a massive difference. Okay, on the back partition wall, we've got 2 sets of 4. These are utility hooks, okay? These are not your standard bridle hooks that a lot of other manufacturers. Cimarron used to use their bridle hooks, but they know that in this livestock world, we have big cords, big hoses, those type of items. So these are aluminum powder coated. So they're really stout, but if you see the spacing, the depth off the wall as well, and the height, you can hang those big cords, those big hoses on these and not have to worry about them you know, falling off. And you're also going to get some carpet behind them, so as it's moving, it's not rubbing directly against this aluminum sheet. So really fantastic setup here with these guys. Everyone's been very, very happy with these big utility hooks that Cimarron's come up with. Rubber on the floor, so really easy to clean. If you want to pull them out, you can, but nice to have that rubber down on the floor itself. We've got lights, okay, above each door. These are the big OptiBright lights, so a clear lens, huge LED light. These are now standard on them. And one thing we've done is we've gone in and we've put a light switch on each side. That way, when you're coming into the trailer, no matter what side you have an equipment stacked in here, you've got these lights that you can actually turn on right there. Speaking of lights, in the center of the gooseneck at the front, we put another light. Okay, so typically the lights are standard above the doors. We like to put one in the center of the gooseneck. That way, you know, it's a 9-foot long nose, so it's a little bit deeper. It's gonna darken it with the carpet on the deck and the drop wall, so it's nice to have that. But if you look at the amount of storage, with this thing being 8 foot wide and a 9-foot long nose, there's a ton of storage capability in the nose itself. Over to the right is going to be a plexiglass tray. That's a storage tray for our plexiglass that I'll show you on our air gap. So keep that in mind. That's where that's going to go. Don't just throw the plexiglass up here. You're going to throw maybe some fans, some other equipment up here, you know, bars that are going to hit it. We don't want to break it. Try to get it up there in that tray. Over to the left, okay? This is directly above where we were looking with that battery box, but that plug for our 30 amp, okay? So this has the 30 amp power package on it. We've got an outlet here so you can charge up a phone, you know, do some items like that, but it feeds into this breaker box and then it goes back into the stall area that I'll show you here in a few minutes. But that's where that actually comes into itself. We've got a 4-inch tube that goes across the gooseneck. It's just pinned in so you can unpin it and take it out, but it's great to hold items up in the nose if need be as you're traveling. And all these front tack rooms are braced with the framework for an air conditioner or a 12-volt camper style vent, a manual crank vent. They're all the same footprint, but it's already there. So if you wanted to add those type of items, we have a power package. So the air conditioner could be added or the 12-volt vent because we have 12-volt power as well. But that part of it saves a lot of time and hassle by already having it on the trailer itself. So these ramps they're really easy to get up and down. They've got some really good springs that want to actually suck into the trailer and you can lock it out of the way. Okay. Now, as we work into the stall area, Again, the side ramp going in to the stall area. That way you can load animals from the side, unload whatever you need to. You've just got a lot of flexibility by having that. As we come in, I've got this gate slid back right now because, again, this is where the versatility of this trailer comes into play. So from the partition wall to where the gates start, you're a little over 9.5 feet, okay? So we have this 9.5 foot compartment in the front. The traveling gate can go on each post. So those posts are a foot apart, so we've got some flexibility there. Slider gate with no threshold, so we don't have to worry about animals stepping over anything. But again, you've got the flexibility. I can roll this gate back another setting, I can roll it forward another setting, or in the instances of I just want one big area, I can unpin it from the sides, just stay in the middle so it's nice and balanced, and I can actually slide it up and lock it against the partition wall. Okay, so now it's out of the way. So now we have this whole front compartment. Then from there we go back to the pins. Okay, we did 6 pins. We'll go to the back and I'll show you how we can adjust them. But in the instance of saying, okay, well, I have this slider gate, I need a little bit more. If you notice, the track, we ran back clear to that back set of pins where they start, those gates are. So you have a ton of flexibility. I could take this section out, okay? This front section, remove these first 2 set of pins. I can roll that gate back a little bit farther. I can remove the next set, roll that gate back even farther. Or you can completely gut it with the pins, okay? So they just break away from the wall itself. I break it away from the middle, and then I can take this section out. So you've got so much flexibility, but it's so nice to be able to haul some small animals in the pin systems, haul a couple calves, haul a few more calves with just a couple small animals, whatever you want. This trailer's got that set up for it, okay? High and low tie rails over here on driver's side. Then you're gonna see those OptiBrite lights. So we've got 2 over here on driver's side with 2 more over here on passenger side. So again, a lot of light within here. These OptiBrites are fantastic. The other thing, okay, I mentioned power. So we have some outlets, 3 of them over here on passenger side. They're kind of split, you know, about center towards the back and then towards the front. So we have power back here. Whether you're wanting to run some fans, heaters in the winter time, or you know, you're actually showing off the trailer itself and you're in here getting animals ready, you've got power. As long as you have that portable gen, or you can plug into an external power source as well, maybe on the side of a building or something along those lines, but you have that power in that top rail, okay? So up on the roof, a couple things. We have some 2-way roof vents. We've got 8 of them, okay? They're stacked side by side, and then they're split throughout, so we can create a lot of airflow throughout the whole trailer itself. But then you have this roof. It is standard on every single Cimarron. It is a 1/2 inch thick reinforced honeycomb design. It will withstand 150 pounds per square foot, so it's really strong, okay? So I can walk on this roof and I won't dent it. It has to take substantial hail to do any damage to these roofs. So really good, you know, as far as return on investment there, protecting, you know, your investment in the actual trailer itself. But then when we go to the flip side of it, it keeps this stall area 20% cooler than aluminum sheeted roofs. So it keeps our animals nice and cool. It's got an R3 thermal value, a gel coating on top. Fantastic roof that's on every single Cimarron. Makes a big difference in just stall area, you know, temperature control by having that roof on these trailers, okay? So then when we go to the flip side, go to the floor. What you're gonna see on the top is Werm flooring, okay? So we could either go with bare aluminum, you could do rubber mats, or we opted for Werm. This is a big upgrade, but we felt like on this setup, it made a lot of sense. Because if you look at the hardware in the floor where all these posts are, okay, in my opinion, you go one or two ways. You either go with bare aluminum and you just bed, or you go with Werm. I don't like the rubber mats necessarily because you have to cut and notch for every single one of those. And you want to talk about a hassle trying to get those back in when you go to clean floors, which you need to do. It gets pretty hard. So in this instance here, the Werm is a permanent unpenetrable rubber mat, gives good cushion. I feel like it also gives insulation on the floor side of things as well. But when we go to take this out, it's really simple to put them back in. Again, not having to hassle with the actual mats itself or just bare aluminum, again, bed. Those would be the way I would go. Again, not doing the rubber mats, but going either the bare or this with the Werm flooring. We'll work into the pins a little bit. We'll work our way to the backside of the trailer itself. The wheel wells have been tapered even, so they taper them up. We don't like the 90 degrees, so that became standard on the Stierwalt models here recently. Probably about the last year and a half, we were constantly doing that. We don't like those real 90-degree angles, so we like that taper aspect of it. And that gate that I was showing you earlier, it is notched for those wheel wells down low. So again, once we roll that back, we can get into those areas and not have to worry about that. Only being able to utilize that gate basically from the wheels forward, which was pretty interesting. Early on, there was a lot of that. You didn't have a whole lot of flexibility, but in this instance, again, you do. You can run it so far back by taking a few sets of pins out or rolling it forward and having this big section. Again, ramp, really easy to operate. This trailer is actually tipped towards us, towards passenger side. So as you can see, these big springs want to actually pull it in towards the end there and then hold it in place. Okay, we have exterior tie rails, high and low. Then those plexiglass. Okay, so we have 3 rows of air gaps on this guy. The 2 upper and then the lower. The lower is great for small animals, getting that air down low. For calves, their radiators, their chest, their chest floor. So we want that airflow down low. That tray I was telling you about, here's the little trick. Keep a roll of masking tape or painter's tape and a Sharpie in the tack room, probably up in that tray if possible, because we have different lengths of actual air gaps, because we have a ramp on this side with an access door on the other side. So we have different lengths of this plexiglass. So there's a puzzle and you have all these puzzle pieces, but as you can see, there's no picture. So you're just trying to guess. So you take out your passenger lower, tape it together and write what it is. Do the same for the upper. Do the same for the lower. Even though it's smaller than the upper, as far as height on it, there's still a lower air gap on the other side that you can take plexiglass out. When you go to put it back in the trailer, it's gonna save you a good half hour of time and a lot of bad words being said, because I have had to take some used trailers that have come in with their plexi that's not labeled. You don't know where they go, and you think you have it, and you'll find one piece that you need on the other side. You gotta flip, and I mean, it takes a lot to figure it out. So that does save a ton of time by taking that little tip and going ahead and doing that. Again, it'll save you a lot of hassle. Okay, amber turn signal, that is an upgrade we like to put on a lot of our 8-wide trailers a little bit longer, because what it does is it does multiple things. One, it looks like a big marker light for you down the side of that, but it will indicate when you hit your brakes and it'll flash when you put your blinkers on. So 28 foot on the floor, 9-foot nose. Sometimes somebody's past the back end of your trailer where your tail lights are and don't see you trying to turn your blinker on. This guy here will turn on, so hopefully they help you out and let you over in those instances. But again, that's a real small feature that we really like putting on our trailers. Axles, we have 2 8,000-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles, electric brakes on this, so your truck will need either an integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. 17.5-inch aluminum spoke wheels, and then an 18-ply tire. Okay, so really good running gear underneath here. Again, 1 year, no questions asked warranty on the tires. You hit road debris, you have a blowout, you catch a nail that punctures the sidewall of the tire and it can't be patched, they'll stand behind it from the date you purchase it for 1 year. So really nice to have that warranty on the trailer as well. There's always add-ons that can be done after the fact. Maybe you want a hay rack or some type of a storage rack up top. Those type of items can always be done, potentially through our parts and service department. Okay, at the back here, double gates. We did 50-50 gates, they're independent, and as you can see, we have a ramp over. Because this way, maybe you have calves on the front, and you've got some small animals here at the back. We can offload calves, or you're leaving calves on and you're unloading, you know, depending on where you're going, county fair, state fair, a major, something like that, and you got multiple species, well, they need to be unloaded different places, maybe different times. This has that flexibility. So this rear ramp, we can unload the small animals, load them either way there. If we look at the upper header there, you have two 8-inch awning lights there. Those shoot down and out, so we have light coverage out here. Okay, in the tail lights, you're gonna see a white X. That is a built-in backup light. So when you put your tow vehicle in reverse, those guys will indicate. So it's nice to have some light coverage as well, because the truck is basically worthless at that point with their backup lights. You're gonna get home late at night, unfamiliar places, late at night where it's dark, it's nice to have that. Then from there, okay, we've got our gates, right? So we have 6 pins in this guy. If you notice, we did dual feeder rods. So small animals to bigger, you can go up with moving, you know, adjusting your feeders. What's great about these gates is you can go multiple directions with animals, okay? We can swing both directions. Right now, how we have it set up is a 50-50 setup, okay? So a 50-50 split. But if we wanted to maybe make one pin a little bit bigger, create an alleyway over on that other side, you know, making pins a little bit bigger, all I have to do is break this center gate loose from the post. I pull out, push it over to the other side and lock into place. And now we have a 60-40 setup, and it's that simple. You used to have to unpin gates, move them, and repin them, and it took a lot of time. And what did that take me? A second or two to unpin and swing it over and adjust it. That is so nice to have so much flexibility with these pins and these setups. And with these, I can pin them against each other and then lock them into place. Okay, whether I'm loading or unloading, just getting them out of the way. And again, sections come out, okay? So I can take out like this middle section if I wanted to make one large pin, by still having gates there and gates there. Again, if I wanted to incorporate that traveling gate, you know, give a few more head of cattle in this, we can unpin this front guy, this second guy, or all of them. Again, this rail runs right back here, right ahead of, about a foot ahead of this back set of pins. So even if I needed 2 pins at the back and then the rest cattle, you have that. Or again, they can be completely gutted. So a really versatile trailer from that standpoint of being able to have these pins, you know, to haul cattle, to haul some small animals, whatever you need to. We'll just get these guys out of the way. It is kind of a 2-person job when you're unpinning them and taking them out. And honestly, it's just the awkwardness. I've done it before by myself. If I do that, I actually take I keep a bungee cord with me, and I'll unpin everything and try to kind of get it in the center, and I'll bungee those so they don't want to flop around on you. And then you can unpin it and then take it out. But again, it's a little bit easier if you have 2 people doing the job itself. I'll go ahead and shut this rear ramp so you can see it. You even have air gaps and plexi at the back here, so we can get a little bit more airflow at the back of the trailer if need be. I know in the winter months, I like to recommend to customers to keep this plexiglass in the rear, because air swirls at the back of trailers and it'll want to suck into the back. And if you have animals right there, that's not what we want. You know, really cold air and snow and ice and all that kind of junk going into the back of the trailer. We don't want that. But again, you have the nice big ramp over. It's on those big springs and it's out of the way. So that's simple to operate that ramp at the rear of the trailer as well. Over on driver's side, again, a little bit more plexiglass and a little bit more air gap because we have this access gate rather than the side ramp. So again, that's where it's important to keep track of those pieces of plexiglass. You have this access gate going into the first stall right here. So it's nice to have that flexibility. At times you might just need to hop into that stall area. Fold up step. With it being 8 wide, you don't have any running board. Okay, so that flip up ramp is nice. A nice transition. Even when we get up to the front tack room, you've got a fold up step here as well. Because again, if you look where I'm standing in this bottom rail, that is a big step. And if you've got young juniors that maybe are carrying some equipment, just going in and out, by having that step, it makes that transition so much easier. You've got the access door going into that front tack as well. This is something when I'm talking to customers, building trailers, if we have this front tack set up with that side ramp, I want a second door, whether it's on the partition wall or like this door over here on street side, just to be able to access that front tack. Because if it's more of a safety issue, if you are in that tack room and that ramp gets shut, there's no way out. So it is nice to have this. You know, the ramp itself is curbside, where this man door is street side. So if we have to stop in traffic, you know, I can easily sneak into this where I don't have to lay the ramp down, but it's on the other side, so it's out of the way. But those are on gas shocks, those fold up steps, so really easy to operate. So again, as you can see, this is a great trailer for a family that's showing multiple species. Has a nice big tack room, so if you're wanting to show off of it, but so much flexibility. This has been such a popular trailer for us. So again, it's a 2026 Cimarron Stierwalt. Pins with the traveling gate and the front tack. Stock number is 5N250984. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade or downsize, we can help you there. Delivery is an option, so we could potentially bring this to your doorstep, and financing is available. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. We appreciate you tuning in and have a good day.